Well, on Tuesday of the week ahead, a new Gallup Lumina Foundation Pulse poll will be released, revealing what Americans believe need to really happen for the U.S. to be the world leader in workforce. And I'm pleased to be joined by Indianapolis-based Lumina President and CEO Jamie Merisotis to take a peek ahead at the results and what they could mean to education on a national level. And Jamie, as always, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Gary.
Let's talk about this Pulse poll that will be released in the week ahead. Workforce, obviously a critical issue for our country and here in Indiana. A couple of the results we can preview. 87% say the federal government should make it a priority to increase the talent of the workforce.
Right.
And nearly 90% say cities that commit to increasing talent, they'll have stronger economies.
Right. Yeah, look, I think this poll is an indicator of what's really happening in the country, which is that the demand for talent is rising. The country needs to actually invest in talent development and deployment in different ways than what we've seen in the past. In the 20th century, we were able to create the success that we had as a country by using our ingenuity and our grit and our determination and having good schools and having an effective immigration policy and higher education system. But in the 21st century, we've got to do things much differently. We've actually got to attract, educate, and deploy the talent that we need, because in the knowledge economy, things are much different. The skill levels, the requirements are higher, and I think this poll points out both what the public sees as the important things happening for cities and what the federal government's role has to be in helping to make that more talented society.
Lumina has done a lot of work on workforce and talent. You're very passionate about it. You've got a book, America Needs Talent, that you've written, so obviously you're very passionate about it, Jamie. Why write this book? Why? It's a lot of effort to do it. You feel there needs to be kind of a change in the conversation nationally.
Yeah, I think from my vantage point, I've spent my career in the space of education. Education is a critical path to success for individuals and for society. But education is a means to an end. The end that we get from education and things like urban policy and immigration is talent. And what the country really needs is more talent. Talent that's going to help us become stronger economically, more socially cohesive, more culturally rich. Talent is what's going to define our success in the 21st century, in the second American century. Not the kinds of talent that you might see on these TV shows where people can sing and dance and dunk a basketball, but the kinds of talent where knowledge, skills, and abilities are actually honed by education and experience in ways that impact that person and impact us as a society.
And you contend that the U.S. needs to be very intentional about this. In the book, I think you bring out this idea, this concept of a U.S. Department of Talent, right? Yeah,
the federal government is one of the players. The private sector needs to invest in innovation. We need to create lots of different changes from both public and private perspectives. But at the federal level, we have a confusing cacophony of things where we have a Department of Education, a Department of Labor, talent functions in the Department of Homeland Security and other agencies. We need to actually consolidate them, not to create a bigger agency, but create an agency that is actually focused on the outcome of what we need from our federal investments, which is talent. And I think this idea of a new entity would actually be a signal to our international competitors and would help strengthen our capacity here in the United States.
What do states, all states are trying to get their arms around this whole workforce talent issue. As you look at a state like Indiana, what are your thoughts? What are they doing right? What are they doing wrong? I mean, as you look at things going on in this state.
Well, so much of what is needed is post-high school education developed talent. And as you know, Indiana is behind the national average. 35% of Hoosiers have a post-secondary education degree or other credential below the national average. Indiana right now, almost 2/3 of the jobs being created require a post-high school education. So when you match that with the kinds of things that we need to do, I think we've really got to think about redesigning our higher ed system. We've got to create changes in terms of what we're doing in our cities. We've got a great example here in Indiana, in Columbus, a city that has actually found a way to become a talent hub, to support innovation and commerce by actually bringing together civic, business, and education leaders in a way that's different, that actually is a long-term trajectory for what we need to invest in.
All right, Jamie Merisotis, the CEO of Lumina Foundation, very interesting perspectives on talent, and the new book as well, America Needs Talent, is a great read. Jamie, as always, thanks for being here.
Thank you.